Very good evening, dear participants. Uh, Today we have yet another significant lecture in the Know Your IP weekly online lecture series being organized by the DPIIT IPR-Chair, Osmania University. And today's topic is plagiarism and copyright infringement, legal implications. And the resource person is Dr. A.S. Chakravarthy, the University Librarian, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar Library, Osmania University, Hyderabad. And he is the right person to talk about the copyright infringement as well as plagiarism, for the simple reason that he was responsible for getting the research works of more than 1,500 Ph.D. scholars in recent times, probably which must be a record. And by using the approved software, that is Turnitin, he could check for the similarity, and he guided number of scholars in ensuring that the similarity percentage is within the prescribed limits as directed by the UGC. A brief introduction of Dr. Chakravarthy is currently the coordinator of Anti-Plagiarism Software and also in charge of Shodhganga Project, e-Shodhsindhu e-journals at Osmania University. He specializes in the automation of library, digitization, DSpace, e-resources, information retrieval system, search strategies, information and communication, digital standards and formats, plagiarism, etc. With more than 3 decades of experience of working in university library and with more than 1.5 decades of teaching experience, Dr. Chakravarthy has published 65 articles in national and international journals, attended 72 national and international seminars, and organized 9 conferences. So far, he has authored 5 books, including the editing work of the BRAOU, that is Dr. B.R. Ambedkar Open University Course Material. And he is a recognized supervisor, Ph.D. supervisor in the Department of Library Science. And at present, he is supervising 8 Ph.D. scholars. And so far, he has successfully guided 5 scholars for the award of their Ph.D. Dear participants, you are aware of the importance of avoiding plagiarism while writing the research reports. As somebody rightly said, if you copy from one, then it is plagiarism. If you copy from the multiple resources, probably it is research. So let us see what exactly is the plagiarism and what exactly amounts to copyright infringement. So the floor is yours. Over to you, Dr. Chakravarthy.
Thank you so much, D.V. Reddy sir. Thank you for about myself. And before I start, just let me share my experiences in Osmania University regarding plagiarism. We have started checking PhD thesis in 2018 from July onwards. Since then, almost I've checked 6,000 plus thesis and 2,500 plus thesis awarded and multiple times. There is a lot of impact in Osmania after introducing this targeting software to control plagiarism in thesis. Almost the size of the document reduced from 300 pages to 150 pages because people are got awareness that they are reducing copied content and the size of the document automatically reduced. And the second one is the percentage is also we are right now fixed below 10%. And of course, before 2018, university awards almost 500 to 600 theses per year. But when we introduced this, almost reduced to 50%, like 250 to 300. It shows a lot of change in research activity in Osmania. And to be frank, our scholars are participating in research activity very well. And a lot of improvement in research. And very recently, our vice chancellor, respected vice chancellor, fixed a deadline for The scholars who are admitted very long back, like 10 to 15 years, something like, and some deadline up to 31st March. In that, to be frank, I worked up to 1 o'clock in the night because I worked from home, and almost 1,500 theses submitted by students in this only short period. And my topic is plagiarism and copyright infringement and legal implications about that. First of all, we will learn what is plagiarism actually, what origin of plagiarism and something like. And this is the term derived from Latin, like plagium, meaning theft, hijacking, or literary adoption. Because, before I start this, I'll tell one important thing, because whenever we need any information, we will go to Google and give some keywords, and later we'll get a lot of lakhs of records and all. Finally, we will open some websites where we will copy there and we will paste in our document, and we will pass that information that we only created that information. Okay, people think that information available on in public domain is free. Please don't think in that way. Each and every page on internet is protected with copyright. If you go down that web page, you can find copyright details like copyright with author, publisher, something like. Okay, just you go to that second line. A plagiarist is a thief in literature, one who steals the thoughts or writings of another. Actually, this is a statement given by Miron in 1989. When you are presenting any statement as it is in your document, just you put quotes, just like what I did in this second line. Just you put quotes as it is when you are presenting as it is. And immediately you have to acknowledge that. Just like what I did here. If you do in the same way, that will automatically exclude from plagiarism while checking in any software. Okay, that is the reason I'm showing here. I'm repeating this. A plagiarist is a thief in literature, one who steals the thoughts or writings of another. Just statement I've copied and pasted as it is because that is not my own. I've acknowledged. I've given credit of the author like Melon, and he's presented that statement in 1989. Okay, when you do the same way, in the same way, just put quotes and all, that automatically avoids. Okay, that I'm repeating. And this plagiarism is presented as kidnapping the words of others. Of course, we are kidnapping. We are kidnapping. We are taking so much of information from various places, internet, web resources, or databases, or e-journal, something like from where everywhere we are opening and copying, pasting in our document, and we are presenting as that. And actually, here there's some relation between the thing is like kidnapping the words of others as a child is kidnapped from a parent. We are seeing so many news like this in TV channels, but we are unable to see the things like this, like kidnapping of words, copying and pasting in our document. Okay, actually, up to 1709, there is no Copyright Act. There is no ownership claiming something like. Indeed, in English, the statute of Anne, this person claimed, legalized his work. Okay, claim of property rights over his literary work, as he was in the position of father, and his text itself, it was the like child. Okay, up to 1709, there is no legal activity or anything about any work, but from 1709 onwards, work is legalized by that statute. But actually, what is this? Copying of another person's ideas or expressions without appropriate acknowledgement and presenting these ideas or forms of expression as your own. Of course, we are doing. Majority of the cases, we are copying from various places and we are pasting in our document. Unfortunately, at that moment, we are not mentioning, we are not noting down the source from where we are copied, like author or title, something like, or even web page, something like. And later, what we are passing in that information is this information is created by one and passing to others. Okay, and to steal and pass off the ideas or words of others as one's own, using without crediting the author. Of course, acknowledgement is very important. Whenever you copy anything, if you present the owner of that, automatically that will be excluded. Okay. It also includes the use of the work of lecturers or other students as your own. Sometimes it is vice versa, like students will copy from lecturers, lecturers will also copy from students. This type of things happening in so many places. Even I have identified some places, and it includes people think that if you copy text, it will come under plagiarism. Don't think in that way. It includes not only written works such as books or journals, but data or images that are just, if you take any statistical information, statistical information from any website, and you are pasting the same thing on your document, still it is a copied one. Still it comes under plagiarism. Okay, don't think only text will catch. No, don't think that way. Books, journals, data, images presented in tables, diagrams, designs, plans, photographs, films, music, formula, whatnot. Because Google is so intelligent, and the software what we are using to check plagiarism is also very intelligent. Day by day, the importance of that software is increasing, and the facilities in that software is also adding every day. And if you copy anything, like you see this list, the bottom of that my slide, not only text, images, diagrams, plans, photographs, everywhere, everything. If you copy an image from Google and paste in a document, the software catches. Okay, and copyright as an international area of law has been embraced by many nations. Okay, actually up to 1886 there is no act, and Berne Convention for the Protection of Literary and Artistic Works of 1886, conducted by World Intellectual Property Organization in 86. Since then, copyright right came into existence, and this agreement was signed by 119 nations around the world, including India, China, and many other countries. Since then, this acts, each and every country is protecting their copyright, as well as they are also respecting other countries' copyright and also protecting. What is this copyright infringement? Is a set of rights belonging to the creator or owner of a work, authorship in original and fixed in a tangible medium of expression. Because set of rights given to that owner of that work, and there is some protection in between the work and the owner of that. Okay, these rights allow a copyright owner to control, because the owner can control who, when, where, and how this work is used. Okay, because we are living in an information age, and each and every electronic information is protected, and we are also identified from where we are getting and where we are copied. Students, other people are copied my work, something like we can catch easily. Okay, such as through the right of reproduce the work, prepare derivative works, distribute copies, and perform and display the work in publicly. Because if you take permission from the owner, you can do all these things. If you are not taking, and if you are doing all these things, means it comes under copyright. And there is a lot of punishments we will discuss later. And copyright infringement occurs when a party takes an action that implicates one or more of the rights listed above. Like you see, these are the words: right to reproduce the work, to prepare derivative works, to distribute copies, because without taking permission, we cannot do all these things, and display the work publicly. Like the same thing, we will make it as posters, or we will duplicate that, and we will display here and there without taking permission. Everything comes under copyright. There can be significant legal consequences if anybody crosses the limits of copyright, like copyright infringement, including injunctions, monetary damage, and in extreme instances, criminal penalties will also be there. And a small comparison between plagiarism and copyright infringement, like you see, difference between copyright and plagiarism. Like you see. Just small cases I've identified on it, and you please observe my slide, because this what I'm showing in my presentation is not belongs to me. I've taken from a source and also mentioned below of this slide, because I'm acknowledging the owner of this statements. Okay, just you please follow that, and my statement, my acknowledgement also having a standard like APA style. Okay, plagiarism but not copyright infringement. Like example, you see a student copies a few sentences from a book illustrating and describing species of birds, or in an article submitted for his project work, but fails to provide a citation or footnote of that, because on student what he read, they copied from a book and pasted in your document. Unfortunately, he is not provided any citation or footnote of that source. Okay, the student may have committed plagiarism, but not properly attributing by not properly attributing the information and making it seem like the information originated from the student. What people think that if there is no acknowledgement, there is no source footnote, something like, then people think that that person only created all these things. Okay, what he did, however, the student will most likely not be found to have committed copyright infringement. Why? Because he used that work only for his academic activity, not distributed, not made so many copies, not displayed here and there, or something like. Okay, if he displayed or uh, copied and prepared so many documents regarding that, and what is that, commercialize something like, if you read, if you go in that way, that it comes under copyright. Okay, what he is saying here, and committed copyright infringement because such an inconsequential amount, only small amount he copied but not acknowledged, comes under plagiarism. And because he is used for educational setting in a manner that is unlikely to harm the author's market. If you copy a paragraph and used in your document without acknowledgement, means that comes under plagiarism, but that will not comes under copyright. Why? Because he is not distributing anywhere and he is using only for the educational purpose. And this part of activity will not damage author's market. Okay, it comes under fair use, and later some software will catch and it shows the percentage. Okay, copyright infringement, but not plagiarism. This is reverse. This time the student copies the entire species book that he includes in several articles published in the paper. He copied, but he puts a citation at the bottom of each article that includes the author name. This student, very intelligent student, what he did, he copied from several places and also acknowledged in a proper way, like by using a standard called IPR-ML, something like, and everything that comes under plagiarism. And how the entire article is taken directly from the book, while the student properly attributed the author and did not try to pass the author of his own work and copied entire work without permission, and likely infringes the author's rights under copyright law. Because he's copied is not small amount, he copied a big amount. Big amount of text without taking permission comes under copyright. And each and every part where he copied, acknowledged by using standards, not comes under plagiarism, but comes under copyright infringement. And this is both plagiarism and copyright infringement. This is the third case. A writer hoping to be published copies line by line in a popular wizard book series. Writer sends the work to his publisher and says he wrote it. He copied as it is, line by line and all, and he sent it to a publisher for publication, and he says that because he is not acknowledged, he is not taken any permission from the owner of that document. This comes under plagiarism and also copyright. Why? Because he is publishing and he is damaging author's market. Has committed plagiarism by submitting someone else's work as his own, and in addition, he committed copyright infringement by copying someone else's protected work without permission. Not taken permission and not acknowledged. This case comes under both, like proper. He deviated plagiarism as well as copyright infringement. Okay, these are the three cases, and what here it is, plagiarism is an ethical violation that occurs most often in academic situations when a party takes credits for work that was not of their own authorship. Majority of the cases we are doing that because we are copying a small amount of the text from various sources and we are not acknowledging that, and we are violating ethical issues in this. Okay. Copyright infringements occur when a party copies, reproduces, distributes, displays, or performs, or makes a derivative version of a proper protected work without permission of the copyright owner or the law. Okay, these are the cases comparing plagiarism and copyright infringement, and I've taken all these things from a source mentioned below, and Arnold and Levy says something like, you please follow that. Okay, why we need to plagiarize? Why writers plagiarize? The main thing is inability to discuss the issues in a critical manner, like lack of paraphrasing skills or incorrect in citations, because some Non-English native people, what they will do, they will depend on the existing work like on internet. They will search for the text when it found on the screen, then immediately they will use Control C and Control V, copy there and paste in the document, because they don't have knowledge to prepare like paraphrasing or something like, and incorrect in citation because they don't have any citation styles information or knowledge in presenting in a proper way. Purely summarizing the text without creating relevance with the topic and act of plagiarism. And the next line is Howard in 1995 observes that an absence of ethics or ignorance of citation convictions. These are the two main important things people will plagiarize. Because absence of the ethics, what is that? If I copy, who will catch me? Because each and everywhere software is detecting and it is showing the percentage at what extent that student or the work produced by the person, it's showing the percentage, later it crosses automatically rejecting. Okay. And ignorance of citation conventions, these two are very important, because whenever you copy, of course you can copy some extent, but you have to acknowledge the owner. Otherwise it creates so many problems, leads to maybe so many cases, because I've removed in my presentation because I have to show something else. Some cases even top level VVIPs also stepped down from their position due to plagiarism charges. And research forced to depend on the previous knowledge. Of course, if anyone doing research, of course they have to depend on the previous knowledge. We will call it as a review of literature or literature search or literature review, and already found by others before through investigations, experimentations, intuitions, experiences. Because we have to continue the place where others stopped. Okay, we have to depend on the previous knowledge, and past knowledge is required to substantiate the argument or statement, or even to counter and to refine or to develop better theories. Definitely, that is the reason we will put one chapter called review of literature or literature review. Okay, we have to collect, we have to gather so many reviews happened in your subject area, and you have to present in a different way. I will show a slide that will help you a lot. You have to present in a different way that we read, we copied there, and we have presented in different way. Okay, in that way, past knowledge is required, and borrowing the already existing knowledge in our work is since work is required, it opens up a chance for coming into the public plagiarism, because so many places we will collect so many reviews and we will present in our research report. Okay, this is nothing but comes under plagiarism. Of course, we have a way to come out from that: publish or perish. Why? Because according to UGC norms, each and every scholar, they have to publish minimum two publish articles in a reputed journal. It leads to so many problems. Like usually people, when there is a need for publishing minimum two articles, then the student or the scholar depends on the existing information that they modify here and there, and they change there somewhere and cut and paste, find and replace, something like we will do, and e-publish. Okay. Finally, if I can, if any software, we check the same document in any plagiarism software, automatically detects and shows the percentage. Okay, this has been a tempting impact on authors, scholars, researchers, and students to make use of already available information in their works and publications. Of course, forgetting or otherwise of acknowledging the sources consulted or used. Okay, of course, nobody will stop you. You can copy some extent. While copying from any source, you please note down. You note down the source from where you copied, like author, title, or website address, something like, because you have to acknowledge. If you are presenting the copied information in your text, means you have to acknowledge the owner. Otherwise, software will catch, the percentage will increase. Okay, and a notion among the students or scholars that the internet information available on public domain is free from intellectual property rights, and therefore they do not think of citing. Please don't think in that way, because each and every page is protected with copyright. Okay, you note down some information, copy and paste in your document, but you have to acknowledge. You have to provide proper citation. What amounts to plagiarism? Uh, According to scholar guidelines, 6 words in a row without quotes or references comes under plagiarism. 6 words up to 5 words you can copy and paste. No software will catch. from 6 words onwards, like 6, 7, 8 words. If you copy from anywhere, software will automatically detect that. Okay. Actually, UGC, according to UGC norms, that 6 words is extended to 14 words. Okay, because we are following UGC guidelines in Osmania University, and we are applied that filter that up to 14 words don't compare. Okay, from 15th onwards, it will compare with the available information on internet or any other sources, and it shows. Okay, anything more than 30% of borrowing from other documents is considered as indulging in plagiarism by publishers of various journals. Some journals, what they will do, they will accept up to 30%. If it is international journals, 5 to 10% they will accept. Some of the journals, well-known top impact factor journals, will not accept more than 5%, because I've checked so many our faculty members' articles or project report, something like they reviewed and rewrite it several times to reduce the percentage from 10 to even 5 and below. We have, according to plagiarism.org, there are 3 types, like intentional, unintentional, and self-plagiarism. These are the categories broadly grouped, and yes, I will explain. Before that, we have 10 types. Like clone, submitting others' work word by word as one's own. Of course, we are doing copying a paragraph or a page word to word and pasting in our document. That is nothing but cloning. And Control C contains significant portion of text from a single source without alterations. Like you see, a paragraph, because we will get a lot of resources, results in Google, like 20 lakhs, 30 lakhs, something like. We will open only one website. In that website, we will copy only one paragraph and paste in our document. Only single source and a portion of a text in that. And without any alterations, we will copy and paste. This is comes under second category of plagiarism, like Control C. Third is find and replace. Some intelligent people, what they will do, they will copy one page, one paragraph, something like, and paste in their document, and later what they will do, they will replace the words by using synonyms. Okay, if it is cancer, they'll replace with oncology, something like, because when the software compares with the existing information on internet, it will not match. Okay, the find and replace, but software people are developing a lot, and they are so intelligent. Even if you replace, software catches, because there is so many ways how that is working. Later we will discuss. And remix, clear up phrases from multiple sources made to fit together. Because I've checked so many articles in Osmania. Some people recently I've checked one document which is having 98% similarity. Why? Because what he did, he copied each and every paragraph from one source, fit together. And finally, he removed a name, title of that article and author, and he placed his name and some changes and coined a different title. Okay, in that way, remix, copying from various sources and fit together, and in that way, so many people they are doing. Recycle borrows generously from the writer's previous work without citation. Previous work, copying and pasting and repeating again and again. And hybrid combines perfectly cited sources with copied passages without citation. Combines perfectly cited sources with copied passages without citation. Okay, copying 2 or 3 paragraphs and fixing it and there, and without citation it presents. And mashup mixes copied material from multiple sources. Like you see, I'll copy one paragraph from one website and the other paragraph from other website, and I'll mix both the things. I'll mix 2 paragraphs and create one more paragraph. Mashup. In that way, people will do. And the 8th one is error 401. What it is, because some intelligent people, what they will do, they will copy one paragraph from one source, and they will not acknowledge it, that website address or source of that information. Intentionally, they will, what they will do, they will copy from one source, they will acknowledge the other source information. When software checks, it will not match. Source and the text is not matching, and it shows error. Okay, and the aggregator includes proper citation to sources, but the paper contains almost no original work, because some people, what they will do, they will copy one paragraph and follows all conditions and norms of plagiarism as a proper citation by using proper standard like APMNS and stick. Each and every paragraph they will do, but there is no innovation in that. There is no original work. Each and every almost they'll copy here and there, and they'll make 6 to 10 pages, and they will also create one more article, but there is no addition from the author side. Okay, retreat. This is comes under self plagiarism. What I do, I'll publish my article. After some time, what I will do, I will modify my article and I'll copy my text. I will change the title again and again. I will use my own text several times because I hold my own copyright. I'm the author for that previous work and present work, and who will punish me? In that way, I will present my own text several times. Okay, these are the 10 types recognized by the plagiarism.org. How intentional will be you, please see? Passing one's own pre-written papers from the internet or other sources. I'll pass off some information which is taken from internet and other sources as my own. Okay, and copying an essay or article from the internet, online source, or electronic database without quoting or giving credit. I'll copy and I will not put quotes. I'll not give credit to the owner of that information. And cutting and pasting from more than one source to create a paper without quoting or giving credit. Multiple sources copy paste and create one more text, and without giving without quotes and without giving credit. And borrowing words or ideas from other students or sources without giving credit. Actually, you please follow this slide, because this is not my information. Actually, I've taken this information from MLA handbook for writers of research papers. I've taken these 4 lines from this book, and I've acknowledged in a proper way by using API style. Okay. Yes, if you do in this way, this will be automatically excluded from plagiarism. And paid and hired plagiarism, you see, this is very dangerous one. Actually, this is observed in instances where students purchase projects from the third party or pay something to prepare a project, or once they have ghostwriting or essay meals. Somewhere they will also call it as ghostwriting or essay meals. Okay, some people, because they are very busy and they are unable to prepare their own projects, they will depend on the third party and they pay something like, and they will also give some title. On that title, you prepare a project or a thesis, something like it. Just use it. Finally, you give to me. Okay, so that I submit to my institution. Okay, and the third one is unintentional. This is paraphrasing poorly, because we can copy, but we cannot paste in our document as it is. Okay, changing a few words without changing the sentence structure or of the original, or changing the sentence structure but not the words, because some people, they are unable to paraphrase the text copied and pasted in their document. Somewhere here and there they do some and they will not paraphrase in a proper way. Okay, it creates so many problems. And quoting poorly, because putting quotation marks around the part of a quotation but not around all of it. Because according to my experience, because I've already checked more than 6,000 theses, some people, what they will do, they will put quotations of some for some text, like the first word they will start quotes, and they will not end at the end of the paragraph or end of the line, because unfortunately they miss that. Because if you start and if you close that, then only it will comes under proper quotation. Because unfortunately they will not use they don't know how to put quotes in a right way. It creates so many problems. Finally, software will catch that information. Citing poorly, omitting an occasional citation or citing inaccurately. Because before presenting our document, we have to learn about citation styles. This is very important. And bibliographic presentation also very important. BMS, bibliographic management software, something like you can also find on internet. I'll tell that. And these 3 lines I've taken from ML handbook again. Okay, how unintentional plagiarism will be like 3, like paraphrasing, quoting, and citing poorly. And I've given total credit to the owner of this text. At the bottom, I've presented, I'm acknowledged in a proper way, title of that book and edition and source, year, something like. Okay, if you do in that way, that will be automatically excluded. Okay, how to detect? Because fortunately or unfortunately, we will copy from various sources and we prepare our document. Finally, when time comes to check the document in any software, automatically some panic situation will be there. I don't know, because I have some experiences. People will come in front of me while checking their document, and then some people will cry because if it is crosses 20 or 30%, definitely because we worked a lot, sir. But how it will be 30 or 40% because they copied from various sources, but they are not acknowledged in a proper way. Automatically, the percentage will increase. And a key academic institution is detection of plagiarism. Sophisticated vocabulary that suddenly appears in context that are totally inappropriate. Why? Because some people, what they will do, the first paragraph they will copy and second paragraph they will create their own, but they will not. It will not match because the copied content is having sophisticated vocabulary, and your own created text will not match with that same sentence. Same way presentation is different. In that way, we will automatically, if it is physical, we can catch. And the fluent grammar, idiomatic use of phrases that is nowhere related to the students or students' oral skills, because we also teach some students. We can imagine, we can also identify the skills of the student, because if student skills are less, then his presentation is fluent grammar and so many phrases he put in that document. We can easily catch because he depended on the existing information copied as it is. Okay. And we have so many software where you can check your document before submitting to any institution like copycats.com. Okay. Plagiserve and continues. Okay. I've identified some software on internet, free software as well as some three are commercial in this list, because you can also make use of all these things because you prepared a thesis or uh, article or any project, something like. You can also use this software, free software like plagiarism.org, Integral and Duplichecker, Copyscape, My Dropbox Suite, Docop, Moss, Viper. These are all free software available on internet. And Turnitin, Authenticate, and Arcon, these three are commercial. If you want to check your document in this software, you have to subscribe. Okay, the plagiarism and these sites, you can make use of that. And you please note down, this is very important message I'm giving. When you upload your document on any website, like free or whether it is free or it is a commercial one, you please check for indexing part, right? Because if without putting that option while uploading your document, it creates so many problems later, right? Because some checkbox will be there while uploading, like do not index or no repository. You please find out. Why? Because if you are not mentioned anything, your document will sit on their server. Okay. After modifications, if you want to check it again, then it shows 100%. Why? Because it matches with the text it contains in their server. You already first instance you already uploaded to that. Okay. If you provide that information like do not index or no repository, whatever the uploaded document, it will not save in their server. When you check again, it will show a right percentage or decreased percentage, not compared with the first one. Okay. Otherwise, what happens if it is indexed? Whenever you check, it shows 100% copied. Okay. That is very important. You please down when you check with any software, when you upload your document, you be careful. Why? Because I have so many experiences in this. So many people, what they did, they checked their document in various places. Some friends will be there in other universities. Even faculties are also helps. Unfortunately, they index. One student, this is really a real example I'm showing here. One student, political science, he checked his document in New York University because his sister is working as professor in New York University. Unfortunately, that was indexed in New York University. Sorry, a targeting server. The same document he sent to me for submission. I've checked, and it shows 100%. Why? Because it shows, and it will also show that this student is copied from New York from a report submitted to New York University. Because unfortunately, that was indexed. Later, because without taking permission, illegally that student is checked in their server, because we will not allow in Osmania, we will not allow any other thesis or any other articles, because we will follow strict instructions We will provide set instructions to each and every faculty and students. We will only check our own documents, not other universities or other institutions' documents. Okay, that is a very strict rule we passed in Osmania, because later that person sent so many letters to remove that document. Almost it took 6 months to remove that document from Turnitin server, because New York University's system administrator has to send a mail to Turnitin to delete from their server. Okay, after deletion, again, he got limited percentage restricted to USMA according to UGC norms, and he submitted and awarded. Because this is very important, because I am repeating why I'm repeating again and again, because before uploading your document, you be careful, and you please search for do not index or no repository. Okay, because we are using Turnitin, because not only we, almost 90% of worldwide institutions or universities follow Turnitin. Because scope of Turnitin is more, it's so dynamic, and whatever the information on web page, it cross checks and it enters into all commercial databases, because these people will take permission to uh, enter into other databases to cross check the document attached or uploaded by a student. And you see, this is actually a old information. This is a dynamic one. Each and every day this source is updates, like 62 plus billion web pages called, 734 million archived student papers, 165 plus billion articles from 1 lakh 40,000 journals. It cross checks your uploaded document in all these resources. Okay, and it will take almost 24 seconds to check one paper. I think you people know, when you give any keywords in Google, Google searches that keywords and provides information within a fraction of second, like 0.5 seconds, 0.57 seconds, something like. It will show lakhs of records. You know, Google searches 60,000 trillion pages per second. 60,000 trillion pages. It compares your keywords, it cross-checks entire universe of knowledge available on internet, and it works very fast. Like in 1 second, it cross-checks with 60,000 trillion pages. In that fast, Google is working. This Turnitin checks each and every page. It takes almost 24 seconds. Okay, if any student uploads 100 papers document, 24 into 100, like you say, 3 minutes, something like it will take. Usually depends on your internet speed and the document size, because some people, what they will do, 100 pages contains so many images, the size of the document automatically increases. Okay, I've checked a document in Turnitin. You see, wherever the copied information is there, automatically Turnitin applies color to that text. All this colored information is copied one, as you see. These two paragraphs copied as it is. This is a thesis, actually. This is the thesis. I've checked my student thesis, checked in Turnitin software in Osmania University. These two paragraphs copied as it is and presented in their thesis. This third paragraph, having some bullets, copied from Malaysia. One source, one color. Okay. Third page, you see. First paragraph from source number 1, and the second paragraph from source number 2, and the third paragraph from source number 2, and something like. Okay, each and every line is copied. Finally, the student got 39%. Why? Because introduction part and something other text copied, but data analysis part, findings and is a unique one, and finally got 39%. This case is rejected after some time, rewrited, and comes under the limits of UGC norms, submitted and awarded. Okay, I've checked the document. It's free software like Plagiarism Checker X, and this dark color is a copied one, and the light green color is a unique one. Okay, and the thing is, if you check, because this Plagiarism Checker X or any free software cross checks your document only limited to free resources, not commercial one, or not it will not enter into any big databases. Okay, and if you check a document in free software, it shows only 2-3%. If you check the same document in Turnitin, it shows 30 or 40%. There is a lot of variation will be there in free software and the Turnitin or commercial software. And Plagiarism Checker X gives a report in this way, like you see. and when it was checked, and how many pages, how many words it contains, and from various sources, from each source, what percentage this document contains. That right. Okay. Consequences. What happens if any student uh, copies? Okay, like you see, according to authenticate.org, there are 6 consequences of plagiarism. The first one is destroyed students' reputation. Like you see, if any students committed this plagiarism, like you see, the suspended or expired, that student will be suspended or expired. Student to be barred from entering college from higher school or another college. This will happen in so many universities internationally. And second, destroys professional reputation. Like you see, damages from plagiarism follows them for entire career. Because I'll give an example, but I will not disclose the name. One vice chancellor um, indulged in plagiarism. Later, he stepped down from that position. That means the position is gone, like vice chancellorship is gone. Later, he cannot go anywhere because that a damaged parties follows that person everywhere. Okay, damage from plagiarism follows them for their entire career. Will likely be fired or asked to step down from their present position. Find it difficult to obtain another respectable job. Like destroys professional reputation and destroys academic reputation. Like you see, academic career can be ruined. Publishing in an internal part of a prestigious academic career, that will be gone. To loss and ability to publish most likely means that to end up an academic position or a destroyed reputation. Okay, legal repercussions like copyright laws are absolute. The author has the right to sue a plagiarist, and the individual may face fines, jail time, and community service in addition to a civil case. Okay, and journalists or authors are particularly susceptible to plagiarism issues. Okay, and, as a professional writer, to plagiarize is a serious ethical and perhaps legal issue. Okay, and monetary repercussions like author sues a plagiarist, the author may be granted monetary restitution. Plagiarism can include prosecution under copyright laws and monetary award based on damages, and offering plagiarism could be to pay monetary penalties, and any student indulged in that way, they have to repay the claims already made, like grants, scholarship, something like that student has to repay. Okay, and plagiarize finally, there will be plagiarized research in the market. Okay, no one is immune, neither ignorance or nor stature excuses a person. Okay, longer piece of work such as dissertation or thesis and plagiarize, already plagiarized information will come into the market. Other people will also follow that same information later. Okay, penalties will be like suspension, expulsion from the university, or uh, something like you see, loss of market, scholarships, something like I have explained. How to avoid? This is very important because we discussed about what is plagiarism and how to catch and what types and something like that. And how to avoid? This is very important. Plan ahead before you start search for information. Search here and there. Learn how to take notes and how to use. Because one student asked one question in my so many lectures given to so many people, right? However, just I've given only simple example, like because before going to write an exam, we will read so many textbooks. We will read so many textbooks and we will write the exam, and finally we will get 60, sorry, 80, 90 something percentage of marks. But if you compare your answer sheet with the textbook content, it will not match, because concept will be there in your answer sheet, but content will not be there as it is. Okay, you be careful and you read. You note down various reviews from various sources. You read first and you rewrite according to your knowledge and present in your document. That avoids plagiarism. And classify your information before going to start your work. Facts and common knowledge, no need to cite. And opinions, definitions, attitudes, ideas, theories, findings of others, etc. comes under plagiarism. Citation is must for that. If, for example, if you're copying a definition and presenting in a document, of course you have to present. You have to present, if you're presenting a definition as it is in your document, just you have to put quotes for that. You have to put quotes. Immediately you have to acknowledge the owner of that. For example, if any definition you are putting, just put quotes and you mention the source at the bottom, like footnotes or at the end of the document in references. Okay, if anyone given, like any well-known personality like Mahatma Gandhi given a statement that you present in your work, and you have to put as it is and with the quotes. Why? Because if you modify that statement, that it belongs to your own statement. If you modify any definition, then it becomes to your own definition and no need for any quotation for that. Okay. If you are presenting as it is from other source, then it requires quotes and acknowledgement. Any artworks, graph statements, and their arrangement and citation, everything requires citation and quotation. Depends on it. Cite and cite. Wherever there is a copied information in your document, you go for citation. Citations are the writer's best friends. Paraphrase and cite. Even if you paraphrase, still it requires citation. Okay, that citation will be at the end of the document or footnote. Get some help from others like librarian, supervisors. Check with the anti-plagiarism software like experts like me or like software. Okay, and ignorance will not excuse a violation. Yes, this is very important. This is very important slide. You please follow this, because first of all you have to classify your work according to these three categories. Like you see, for example, if you are passing the passage is someone else's information in that person's exact words, like Vivekananda statements, Mahatma Gandhi statement, B.R. Ambedkar statement. You are presenting that statement as it is, or any definitions you are presenting as it is without any alterations or modifications. Just you can use. For that, it requires quotation as well as citation. Citation is according to some standard style. If you are presenting your own citation, then it will not take that, and complete text will comes under plagiarism. Okay, you have to follow some citation styles, because each and every software, either free software or commercial one, it identifies almost 150 plus citation styles. Okay, and you are presenting a passage as it is, then it requires quotations and citation. And you are presenting a passage, like a passage is someone else's information expressed in your own words. Majority of the cases we will do this in the review of literature for our research. We have collected so many reviews, and we are taking that information and we are presenting that information in our documents in our own words. It requires only citation, not quotations, because that sentence is already modified, paraphrased, not matching with the copied information. Okay, it requires only citation. That should be in a proper style. No need for any quotations for that. Okay, this is the second category. Third category is the passage is your own idea or interpretation expressed in your own words. For example, introduction part, we will put some definitions, quotations, and all something like. We will use citation and quotation for that. And for review of literature, we will rewrite and express in our own words. It requires only citation, not quotation. Okay. And the third one is no citation, no quotation marks in your document, means that belongs to your own. That belongs to your own. Okay. These are the three important. You have to categorize your document accordingly, according to these three categories. Automatically, if you follow the standards of this, your document will be cleared and will not come under plagiarism. And give credit to the owner. And don't use. Remember to acknowledge the source of ideas. Control C and Control V. Like the copy and paste culture is truly a bane of this information, is because each and every information what we are gathering from internet is cross checks. Okay, specific guidelines while citing, like style manuals, we have to follow that, like MLA style sheet, API style sheet. Some depends on that. Depends on your subject area. You have to follow some like API, MLA, Chicago, something like. And before attempting any writing project, learn about plagiarism first. Find out what constitutes plagiarism and how to avoid it. You try to follow some plagiarism rules and all, something like try to attend awareness programs regarding plagiarism and all. Okay, online plagiarism checker or any software you can use. Laziness or dishonesty can lead to a range of reputation, loss of career, and legal problems. Okay. To my observation in Osmania, because some people, some malpractices are identified. Like you see, some students presented in this way, like replaced some of the letters like O replaced with zero and L replaced with one. You please identify by seeing this slide. And when I checked that the student will get 0% and all. Okay, when the percentage 0 and 1 and single digit, then automatically I'll concentrate more on that present research thesis. And later what I will do, I'll also replace that. All zeros replaced with O's, all ones replaced with L. Then I'll check again, because this is a rejected case having 94% later removed. Actually, this is not a socially, this is SOCIA 11Y, because that student replaced else with ones. Okay, in that way people will do. And this is another case, like if that student added I in between each and every word. Like you see, we can also identify this. For each, in between each and in front of each and every word, they added I. So that I and in a small size, and also applied white color to that I. So that when you see that document, we cannot identify I, because that is in white color. Because for the presentation sake, I've removed white color and I applied black color to that eye. Why? Because that size of the eye is very small to reduce the space in between two words. In that way, this was identified, checked, and 0% got later rejected. I've removed I in front of each and every word and checked, got 84%. And this student, actually what he did, he removed spaces in between words. Removed spaces in between words. Like you see, this complete paragraph having only two words. This first line, second, third line, up to third line, second part is only one word, because there is no space in between, because nowhere internet the software will match the information on available on internet. Okay. And this is also rejected. Finally, the student again placed spaces in between words and checked, submitted, and awarded. And this intelligent student, what he did, because each and every quoted words will be excluded as per UGC guidelines, and the student applied quotes for each and every paragraph of entire document. Like you see, starting and closing in this way. Entire document contains quotations for each and every paragraph, and got 0%. Later I've removed and checked, having more than 80%. And another student, what he did, converted text into image, because this is not a text, this is a image box. You can also do, just press print screen, automatically your text will be converted into image, and that same print screen copied in a normal plain document. And we cannot identify whether that contains only text or an image. If you double click on that, then line will come, and we cannot insert any text in between that. Actually, this intelligent student, what he did, first 10 pages normal text, and last 10 pages normal text. In between 20 pages, almost 150 pages, having all these boxes, like converted text into image, to reduce the percentage from that. Okay. Conclusion is lack of knowledge on citation may leads to improper or non-attribution of sources. And please try to attend workshops on plagiarism, need for acknowledging and how to acknowledge, paraphrasing, summarizing, and to avoid plagiarism. And respect copyright and intellectual property rights, because later we will face so many problems with copyright and intellectual property rights. And principles of academic communication professional ethics shows that how to cite, where to cite, and how to avoid plagiarism and self-plagiarism. Just if you follow that, you will, if you follow that guidelines, you will get everything about that. You please search on internet and you will get information. And my last word is, in the lighter side, a small quote: if you steal from one author, it's plagiarism, and if you steal from many, it's research. And actually, this is not my statement. This is a statement I've taken from a source called, written by Wilson Misner, American playwright and writer. When I've taken from the source and presenting as it is, it requires quotes. Same I've applied here because I've not modified that sentence. I've presented as it is and quoted, applied quotes for entire 4 lines and also acknowledged owner here. Okay. Thank you so much.
Sir, thank you so much, sir. Now I request Professor G.B. Reddy, sir, the chair professor for the DPIIT IPR chair, Osmania University, to please proceed with the session.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chakravarthy.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Chakravarthy. And now I request my colleague, Mr. Srinivas Rao, to propose formal vote of thanks.
Thank you, sir. Thank you on behalf of DPIIT IPR-Chair, OU Hyderabad, India. I would like to take this honor, sir, to host this vote of thanks today. Sir, thank you for being here and apprising us on this serious intellectual property. This is very important for us to understand the copying etiquette, maybe in the university or college or school, or maybe working with any kind of literary work. Traditionally, also, it is being told by our elders that you need to acknowledge and denote the source of good work from where you have inherited the information or a particular skill. Today, sir, you have technically and legally presented all those with varied and classified information about plagiarism. Most importantly, now our viewers and participants are aware like how they can do the checks at free of cost and with the availed paid services. Since now the tool is available with them, I am sure that all of them can produce articles which is less than 5% plagiarism. And sir, related to the part of consequences of plagiarism, I can say that it was most scary part of this session. Also, the type of malpractices which you were talked about was also interesting to explore the ways the students are adapting the new technologies, yet not respectful ever. We should curb this at the origin itself. Since now the participants are aware of all these facts, we hope that this effort of DPIIT IPR-Chair OU Hyderabad, India to propagate the knowledge of intellectual property is really helpful, and we are progressing every week on week. I would also like to thank the essay writing participants. The Girl Power has shown a commendable spirit. I would also like to thank our Chief Patron, our Vice Chancellor, Registrar Sir, Dr. G.B. Reddy, sir, who is a chair, IPR chair professor. Thank you, sir. Thank you.